Hey, we're back again from both sides of the couch. Once again, I'm Shannon Eller, and I'm here with you with one of my counselors, Mandy Culverhouse. And we're going to continue to talk a little bit about the addictions issue that's facing our society. Last week with Courtney talked more about addictions from an individual perspective. Mandy and I are here to talk with you more about individuals and how it affects families. Obviously, addiction is a biological, psychological, sociological issue that transforms itself into all parts and aspects of our society. Addiction can't really be held into just an individual mode, which is one of the reasons that it's such an issue and it's such a prime issue for people to come into families to seek counseling for. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, there's some very significant effects of addictions on families. Physically, child abuse, domestic violence, arrest, those skyrocket with addictions. Emotional abuse, the fear, shame, guilt, embarrassment, feeling like that your family or yourself has something to hide, that you're in the closet at work. People lose their jobs, families break up, divorces happen, there are drug-related crimes, people go to jail. All of those things are issues that our society is facing. Typically when families feel that they have secrets, or they're coming into counseling and they have to be loyal and they have an agenda and they can't break the family codes, that hinders the process. It's a huge barrier for the process for getting down to the business of counseling. Caretakers become helpless. They feel like they're helpless. They begin to be burned out. They're not quite sure. It's all sometimes the very people you turn to for help are the very people that are not going to help you. And feeling like that you have such limited resources in the community. Children become parentified and adultified. The parents aren't stepping up if the adults are not doing what they need to do. Older children find themselves in the position of trying to fill that role without the necessary resources to do that. Sometimes younger children are not getting the care and support that they need. Defects, the court systems begin to come in. The school systems begin to come in. That's how families become referred for counseling. And then you come and see our lovely Miss Mandy. Tell the folks what you do and who you are, Mandy.
Hey, I'm Mandy, and I am an LAPC here at Brighter Tomorrows, and I primarily see little kids. And I started that when I started teaching 10 years ago. And you know, it's just, they always say that addiction is a family disease. And it is, because you have these kids coming in and, you know, just like you said, they are parentified. And the littles, you know, I primarily see the littles. And, you know, there are a lot of behavior problems there with children.
They become very dysregulated.
Yeah.
Their families are angry and dysregulated or in depression, and the kids mirror that and don't know how to help that. Tell me what kind of kids you saw in the school system.
Well, primarily in the school system, I worked with kids with special needs. Okay. And you know, not only intellectual needs, but behavioral needs as well. So and I saw a lot of addiction there.
Right, and that skill has overlaid itself to help you with what you're doing now.
Absolutely.
Okay. And one thing that's important to remember about families and addictions, and if you're a client looking at this video, we want you to know that we want to support you. Most families love their children, even if they make mistakes. Even if they find themselves in trouble with the police or with having a defects case plan, families love their children. Most people do the very best they can with what they know. The key is to learn something different, do something different, and obtain different results. Tell them kind of what you do with the children that come in to see you.
Well, with the kids I see, we do a lot of play therapy. And, you know, that could be art therapy, that could be sand tray.
We have music.
We have music.
Outdoor classroom.
Absolutely. And so what I do with the kids is I try to, you know, find different ways for them to express themselves. They're not always able to say, hey, Miss Mandy, I'm feeling like this, but they are able to express themselves through play. And so that's a large part of what I do.
And become more regulated and be able to
Right.
identify and manage their emotions. One of the things that we try to do with families, we really want to help families feel supported and be able to find support for themselves, come out of kind of an enablement mode or a burnout mode. Communication skills, problem solving, decision making skills, roles and boundaries, limit settings, some safety planning for the smaller children, some boundaries for the older children, some support for the families. At Brighter Tomorrows, what we do is we're very positivist oriented, healing over pathology, hope and respect over burnout, support versus enablement, proactive help versus dependency, responsiveness, help over denial, and action over talk. So I'm very happy that you have a chance to meet Mandy. Part of the purpose of this blog is for you to meet the counselors that we have. One thing, when we're doing clinical work with children, one thing we want to identify are the goals of misbehavior, right? Kids have reasons for what they do.
Absolutely.
We're goal directed and purpose driven, and we're trying to meet our needs, even if we meet them in the wrong way. How do you redirect that?
As far as the
Children that are looking for revenge or power, or children that are angry, children that are feeling like they've been scapegoated or they've been the invisible child in there, or just too much has been put on them because they've been responsible for the younger children. How do you kind of redirect that?
Well, I look at what it is they are feeling, and try to find some kind of coping skill that helps them deal with the anger, deal with the hurt, and
The reality of their lives.
right.
And then we can come back with the families and try to do some education and support to start changing that dynamic
Right.
in their family.
Right.
Change is hard, but change can be good. A lot of times they're hidden family rules, hidden agenda, a lot of nonverbal communication. We want to see improved parenting skills, improved communication skills, reducing shame and stigma and embarrassment, and learning how to have leisure and socialization skills without substances, without alcohol. Break that pattern so that our clients and our families that come in, we want to see change affected so that their children are not one day sitting in a counselor's office with their children, reliving the same generational and familial patterns. So I wanted you to just kind of wrap up what you want to say and invite families to come and see you and partake of your special skill set.
Okay. Well, I am Mandy, and I do play therapy. I work with a lot of kids. I've had many years' experience working with children. And as far as addiction, I focus on the child's role in that family and those emotions that they have towards the addiction. And so I would love to see you guys come see us.
Ask for Mandy. One thing that we want to do too is with the family support, there's going to be a link on this blog that is 6 skills for families affected by substance abuse. It's got some websites. It also has some healthy tips on how you can work with the addiction problem, how to separate yourself and detach from the problem. Much easier said than done. Set roles and limits and boundaries within your family members. Solidify your position, find out where you stand, and stay there. Support sobriety. It's a process. Recovery is a process. Everyone gets sober. Meth addicts run out of substance, they pass out, they wake up sober. It's not a recovered lifestyle. So we want to support sobriety. Simplify yourself, get small goals that you can attain, and sustain yourself. Please give us a call if you're a client. And if you would like to see Mandy, you can ask for her by name. But give us a call. We'll be happy to do our very best. I would never tell you it's going to be okay, but it can be better than it is now. If you're a counselor, please look at the resources and articles we have for you. And call in if you're interested and ask for the workshop, Addictions, Counseling, Family Involvement, Enablement versus Support. A lot of good information in there that will help you. A lot of counselors are very uncomfortable with addictions and not quite sure how to provide the right kind of treatment. Please give us a call, and we will look forward to seeing you again next week.